My first one was a generic hand bowl brand 3018 from Amazon. Super cheap. No limits.
The only problem if you're just starting out with CNCs and your first one is a 3018, you're probably going to walk away with the thinking of I don't get it. I don't get why anyone would want to use a CNC because they're small. The motors in them are terribly slow and underpowered, and it probably taints a certain group of people when they start.
The only reason I agreed to accept it is because the same token we said with lasers when we were putting our nose up to, we only want 60-watt lasers. We only want these, high-end lasers. So I said, well, I don't really want to, but I agreed to because I thought, you know what, if this is an entry-level laser that someone would consider, I want to go through the pros and cons and say,
however, the onus, once you play with it, and by all means play with it, the onus on you will be to discourage people from buying that and buying something like if they're going to buy a Genmitsu CNC, then buy something like a Prover XL rather than the little 3018 because they're really terrible.
So I watched one of Andy's videos today, and it was someone actually leaving a review video of his, and one thing he said was that you openly admitted your faults or like your struggles, right? So you kind of leapfrogged over him and saying, rather than me going through all that, let me learn from somebody else's mistakes and be able to take on. And that's kind of what I was thinking of that. Like you exactly said, I'm not saying this is the ideal. I'm just saying, if you are going to do this, you're committed to doing that, then expect this. And then you're going to grow it.
The thing is, you definitely look at the 3018, review it if you want, but you have to prepare people, right? You have to say, here's the downside of starting with a $150 CNC, right? When that thing over there is $6,000 or $7,000,
and there's a reason.
There's a difference, right? It's not just you pay more money,
right?
Well, but what I think that'll give you though, the cheap ones is not that they're good, but it'll teach somebody on the cheap the concepts of working in a build envelope access, how to manipulate an automation-based machine. So is it good at making things? No, but for $150, it lets you experiment with just how to manipulate. And most of us here have that, whether it's in the laser world or the 3D printing world. But if you're somebody just getting into any of that,